What's up everyone, welcome to the replay. Those of you watching this in the future, we're here doing a live stream talking about this week's events in regards to Inquisitor Martyr. We're here with the patrons, we're here with the Cabal, we're here with a bunch of viewers at the moment, all discussing the game, how much we like it and how much, well, what we think really about the latest news and updates. Today's been a fairly big day for the console bunch in particular, and we're going to be showing some footage of this very soon. At the moment, this is me just playing with the current alpha build, so this is not console footage, this is just the current build of the game. Alpha footage, lots of changes due. But we've also had today our first actual real preview footage of A, split screen gameplay, and of B, general PS4 gameplay, and it looks quite pretty, it looks quite good, and it's also based on the build of the game that was ready 2 weeks ago. So it's not the final build, because I do know they're still making changes, but it was of a build that's a lot further along than this one, hence there being some fairly large discrepancies. Now I have to say the split screen is looking funky, it's looking really nice, but we're going to go through some footage of that in just a little bit. What we're doing first is just giving you guys a little bit of time to rock in here, because I like having the chat alive when we do these things. I like having lots of you guys here. Galv, nice to see you. Dreamforger, Thunderbird, Doc Dewey, nice to see you. Harmon, I think I've said hi to you. Dapper, my friend, how's it going, my man? Welcome to the stream. I'm also sounding a little bit nasal, still fighting off a cold. Doped up on caffeine at the moment to try to counteract it, but if I'm sounding a little bit nasal, a little bit more husky, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's just one of those things. Hit me like an actual ton of bricks. Hit me like an Astartes, this goddamn. I'm going to call it a flu. It's lasted a week and a half. Fever. I'm not going to go into all the symptoms. You don't want to know that, but finally I can breathe through one nostril and it feels good. Oh god, it feels good to be breathing normally again. Right. Oh. Now I like these little defend areas. I'm really hoping we see more stuff like this in the final game. So the biggest piece of news, it's big for some, let's face it. A big piece of news for some is that the respec mechanic has had a little bit of information elaborated on it. I have told the stream this already. Thank you for the emote spam there, dude. The respec mechanic has been confirmed to cost 500 credits. Now, obviously, some of you are thinking, well, that's no problem. I've got 50 billion credits right now. I do think we got to take this into the context that the credit system is obviously going to be balanced before the end game, and there's going to be more ways to spend your credits, because currently the crafting system only involves sort of one, what I'm going to call tier of crafting. You basically make an item. That's what you got. That's all you can do with crafting. Okay, you can make some advanced stuff, and yeah, sure, it's not particularly worth it right now. But you don't have a lot of control over crafting, but those are features that will be there within the final product. So what does this mean? Well, basically it means that you'll be visiting the crafting station a lot more, methinks. So I think credits, obviously we get a plethora of materials at the moment as well. There's far too many materials, but again, we're not using the crafting station too much. So what I'm trying to say is there's going to be plenty of reason, in my view, to be using up your credits when you make a new account. So that's definitely something to be taking into consideration. There has been mention that there might be change. This may not be the final version of respecking, but 500 Caligari credits seems to be the way. And I'm hoping, I'm praying that of course they're going to go with a standard sort of, here's a free respec, or maybe every now and again you get one for free after doing certain milestones within the game, just so you know it actually encourages you to respec every now and again. And the way this mechanic actually is going to work is that it's going to allow you to respec one tree. So per tree that you're respecking, you have to spend 500 credits. So early game is going to be quite difficult to respec all your points, but that's not too bad, because you're only going to have probably one tree rock going on. And from that point of view, I'll probably be recommending to players that pick up the game that you invest all of your points in one tree instead of mishmashing all your points between all the trees. That way when you... Ah, oh, bollocks, I stepped on... Oh, it's okay. It's just a flame trap. Nothing to see here, people. So I think that's going to be an interesting take on sort of builds next time, because it means it's actually... You're probably better off just spending all of your, let's say, skill points within something like the heat tree, let's say if you're rocking a plasma weapon. That way, when you change, you can change entirely. I mean, of course you can go with the logic one, but why don't you just go for ranged, because that will apply to all ranged weapons. Absolutely fine, absolutely fine. The other thing that we've seen as well is they have changed the skill trees. They've sort of made the system look a little bit neater, but 3 of them, are you kidding me? I can call one too. Yours may be redder than mine, but mine is a tactical green. Oh, that's right. Oh, and they still drop loot. I think mine will drop loot too. But there you go. So that's some stuff to be excited about. Yes, certainly true, Dreamforger. For the last year, it's been a consistent piece of feedback that the plasma weaponry is a little bit on the meh side in terms of, well, how it sounds. I did actually speak to the guy that made it quite some time ago, who's giving me some graphics, some sound card advice at the time. I have to say, hats off to the guy. Really, really super helpful. Helped sort me out with the DBX 286S, I want to say. As in, he told me that's what I should buy, and I love the thing. If I sound a little bit more professional than the average guy, it's certainly not my actual voice. It's all hardware. It's all just paid for. Pay to win, or pay to sound better. The only thing I need now is a little bit of EQ, so I can sound a little bit more like Barry White. I can't help but feel that would make me successful, maybe even an EQ, so I sound like an Astartes. Get myself a helmet effect going on. Why isn't this done? There we go. Oh, God, that music needs to go. While we're on the subject of sound, that music needs to go. I'm still not feeling it. Not feeling it at all. Ah, right, let's move on. So what are we going to do now, guys? We've done our warm-up mission. We've got 30 of you sitting here. What's up, Mac Lee? Nice to see you, my friend. Sorry, I segued a bit on that conversation there, didn't I? Because I was one second I was talking about plasma pistols, the next I was talking about EQing my own voice. Oh my God, I've gone downhill. What I actually was going to head towards within that conversation was mentioning that, having said to him face to face, not a big fan of the plasma pistols, in a bit of a high-pitched voice so it went down better, obviously. His response was sort of like, I don't know as I actually should repeat with his response, but it was a bit more like, I think we'll probably stick with it for a while. Let's say he was holding his ground. But, however, it is a consistent point of feedback, so we shall have to wait and see. What's up, Mines? What's up, Akos? What's up, Farang? Nice to see you all. Welcome anyone that's new here, by the way. If we've got any new people, it's nice to see you. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to splash up a little bit of footage now. We're going to splash up a little bit of footage by alt-tabbing over here. And I'm only going to show you a little bit of this, only about 30 seconds, guys. Simply because this is not my footage. It's of gameplay footage, but it's unreleased. I'm repurposing it, so I feel it's fine under fair use. However, I want to give full credit, and down in the descriptions, you will find the ability to watch these videos yourself in their full length, and I would like to, quote-unquote, help promote them too, because they are doing the Emperor's work indeed. So what we're going to load up first is the GameSpot footage. Let's bring it up here. Let's go over there. Don't worry, you'll see it in a moment. Don't worry. I'll tell you what, I'll bring up something a little bit more reassuring. There you go. We'll alt-tab back to here, and I'm going to find a bit that looks pretty goddamn good. Let's find something here. Is that looking good? Yeah. Oh, that's looking good. Right, this is just some gameplay footage. Let's work the sound in. There we go. Bring that down just a little bit. There we go, just down a tab. Looking good. Right, so what we're going to do now is make it so you can see it too. And hey presto. So this is a little clip of the latest PS4 console event of some gameplay footage. As you can see, 4-player co-op rather. We've got 2 assassins, a crusader, and a psycho down there. In terms of what we can see in terms of changes, now granted this isn't the finished product, but you can definitely see the custom name or faceplates on the left-hand side. In terms of other changes, I have to see there's not a huge amount. However, the gameplay itself is sped up quite a damn lot. Hard to tell right now, but it also would seem to me that the difficulty, although you don't see, well, actually you do see the difficulty on the right-hand side, it is sort of plus a fair bit of damage over here. But when our Crusader every now and again decides to move, you can actually see that the game speed has been increased quite a lot. And what I've been told by the developers is that this is not the max speed available. These are not completely upgraded characters. Now, granted, I don't think that it's probably the best demonstration of combat and gameplay, etc., because basically they're here trying to take down a Blightbearer, and as you can see, they are not reducing the amount of enemies that thing spawns. Good lord, that is unbelievable. However, I'm pretty sure these guys are going to get through it, because obviously wiping in PR footage tends not to go down quite so well, but it's nice to see things looking a little bit chaotic here. It's looking pretty good. Hello, Baron. How you doing, my friend? Still not said hello to you in the Discord, Farang. Nice to see you. Yeah, the speed of this Farang, I feel, looks it more in line with a regular ARPG. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring this off. Again, it's not my footage. I'm going to leave the link down below. I'm repurposing it as a form of advertising them, so I think they'll be fine with that. And we're going to bring up another piece of footage now. Now, this is going to be taken directly from... a console again, but this is going to be of the split screen mechanic. So we're going to find a nice point here. We're going to find a bit that looks pretty. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Now, sadly, they've got all done the same bloody map, so there's not a lot. Let's get some volume. Ooh, it either does loud or none at all. So let's turn that down a little bit. There we go. That's sounding better. And let's bring it back up again. Pow! There we go. How we doing? Oh, Alex Rex, how you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Nice of you to stop on by. So this is taken again from the GameSpot site. The link will be made available down below. You can see we've got a couple of lovely Inquisitors here. And like a true melon, I've decided to load it in at the point where they've just completed the mission. So what we're going to do is we're going to load back in again in a second to a point where they're not finished the mission. Let's skip forward a little bit. Bear with me a second. Right, let's bring something up here. Let's do that, let's do that. Let's refresh this. All sorts of things going on right now. This is that sort of moment where you just really don't want to have a pop-up. Right. Here we go. Here we go. It's happening now. Right, there we go. We're going to go back to right about there. Looking good. Looking good. Right. Make sure it's on the highest quality for you guys. Nothing but the best for these viewers. Nothing but the best. Right. Gonna have to wait for the quality to load up. Oh, I know I'm keeping you in suspense here. It's not fair. Hydra, why'd you do this to me? There you go. There's the footage. So this is of some couch co-op. This is kind of their equivalent of split screen. This is two people playing on the same console, PS4 in this case. You can tell by the weird shapes that PS4 Sony people use in order to label their buttons. I'm personally more of a Microsoft Xbox fanboy, so I like my colour-coded big shiny buttons. ABXY? I think it's ABXY. So here we've got clearly a camera angle that's, I'd say, quote-unquote, a smart camera. You can see it going in and out based on the player's proximity to each other. It basically goes in and out depending on how close they are. Further apart they are, the further out it goes. So it seems to automatically compensate a little bit for when your mate's sort of lagging behind a little bit. And in terms of other things that we can sort of observe here, Assassin's obviously got the nice little green outlook, and the first player's got red. I mean, whether it's green for Assassins and red for Crusader, probably not. This is probably a player 1-2 distinction. But it looks pretty good. I'm very glad you're hyped, Alex. I'm very glad you are hyped, because I am too. I have to say, for me, this is looking, and again, credit to GameSpot, this is looking incredibly good. I'm very, very happy with how smooth this looks. You can even see a little servo skull down there hovering around the Crusader. I obviously see some potential annoyances when you have a very static character like the Crusader mixed with a very dynamic character like the Assassin. However, the camera angle seems to be doing a pretty good job of compensating. So I'm quite I'm quite pleased because, as you could see there, the assassin is dodging, darting, dipping, diving and dodging around quite a bit, and there appears to be very little sort of friction or trouble they're getting into. One thing I'm not seeing too much of is within any footage that I see is use of the cover system. It's obviously on an L button, but I mean, whether that's just these players' preferences or not, with the speed being increased, it's a very interesting sort of situation where I'm not entirely sure if people are even going to bother using it anymore. Although it may be a mechanic that gets used more on the higher difficulties. Hopefully they've also thought about what buffs could be provided to players within cover and given that a little bit of a revision. Even a passive cooldown to abilities of 20% or something, I think would be a really, really good or simple mechanic. A passive increase of 10% damage because you get to rest your weapon on a third point of contact, that being your arm, your shoulder. Okay, fourth point of contact, 2 hands, a shoulder and a wall that you're aiming on. That's sort of how rifles work. The more things it's touching, giggity, the more accurate it's going to be. So it would kind of make sense that it would do more damage, I'd think. I don't know, there's lots of different things that they could do, but I'm very, very... Good Lord, you began Games Workshop games in 88. Nah, you're not old, my friend. You're not old at all. I started, I would say, in the early No, I didn't. I started in the late 90s. I was quite early. I was quite young at the time. I'm in my 30s. I'm older than I look. I'll give you that. But so far, this gameplay, again, we're gonna call it in a second here because this is not my gameplay footage, and I would like to give full attention to the people that have kindly played this and point you towards them because they're going to give you a full 15-minute long clip of this beauty, and I'd really recommend you check it out. Pow. Right, let's turn that off. So, one of the... Oh, God, they've still got that sound effect on there. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Pew, 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 pew. Let's turn the video off. And there is also one more video here, and this is by the 6thAxis.com. Now, this chap is doing a voiceover, so I'm going to mute him. He is running a YouTube channel, 3k subs. I would recommend you check him out because he's doing game reviews and console stuff. So if you're interested in that, I'd recommend you jump on over there. Again, he too will be down in the comments below as to where to find this video to watch it in the fullest. But let's bring up a little bit of footage now that we can actually have a look through. Now, I'm going to go here intentionally. Ta-da! And again, it is muted because the guy is giving a very good introduction to the game. So if you want to get just a basic introduction, this is where to go. Now look at the skill trees, guys. Look at them over on the side. I like the grid layout. It's been simplified a little bit. You can see quite a few of them haven't been touched. He mouses over a few and you can see that the suppression tree here hasn't really changed too much. I definitely like the grid view though. The range tree here, again, very similar. He hovers over a few for a few brief moments, but they do look very, very similar. The 5% to stun, slowed or shocked enemies, etc. 1% crit per skill point, etc, etc, etc. All looks pretty good. And again here, we've got a bunch of Inquisitors all playing a fairly tough mission together. You can see these guys were put through their paces when they were playing this. They were actually... let's turn a bit of background music back up. Let's get some ambiance going on. There we go. You can tell these guys when they were... This was all taken from the console event, I believe, when they were literally just playing on console. These guys were working hard for the money there, so hats off to them. But there you go. Yes. If you see any overlays come up, I am showing you these videos live, aka borrowing them. So again, that's why I'm being so cautious here to only show about 30 seconds of each and remind you that it is someone else's footage. Under fair use, though, repurposing it, I have done a little bit of homework and we're fine. No problems at all. And again, they will be linked down below for the 5th or 6th bloody time. Now, another message which Dewey has been carrying over to you guys today, which is an important message, a very important message, is that the Ordo Hydra Discord is now open. And if you just scroll down just a tiny bit, you will get to the Auto Hydra Discord, which is now absolutely 100% free and available for anyone to join. It was always free anyway, although patrons do get access to let's say another tier of content, although I will be honest, I'm a little dry on patron exclusive content right now. It's a work in progress, but when I ask them what would they like, they keep just sort of not saying anything, so I feel like we can share the responsibility for the dryness. However, I would like to take the opportunity to thank them very much, welcome any new ones. We've had a couple new drift in recently, and as a result of their support, I'm going to be stepping this up to 1440p quite soon, which is, I'd just like to give them a massive thanks, because without them, I will be honest, I couldn't afford to do it. So the benefit of that, even if you're not in 1440p, is that it's going to look better to do with the YouTube downscaling. So when I upload a 1080, when I upload a 1080 video to YouTube, it makes it look worse because it's YouTube, and when I watch it back, I'm like, hang on, this footage looked better when I did it. However, when you upload 1440 and then watch it in 1080, the 1080 looks better than if you just uploaded a 1080 footage. So basically the quality will look a little bit better in a while, quote unquote soon. Probably won't do 4K. I'm just going to be honest, the file sizes will be massive, and I think the benefit is going to be a little bit out there. But it also means I get to have some smoother frame rates. Ooh, so we need to do a bit of graphics card shopping soon. That's on the cards. Let's go over to the station now. Turret station. Turret station, have ye any nuts? Oh, I have to unlock the actual turrets. Good lord, right, let's go and unlock them then. Akos. Van Helsing felt like an action ARPG much more. Well, that's absolutely true. It was more of a classic ARPG. This will feel different, but again, I would say it's because they want it to. In regards to why so many... I'm not saying it's a good thing, but in regards to why so many maps have small, narrow tunnels, they're set on spaceships. And they've gone for tile system, and tunnels is just kind of the thing. There's at least one or two more open maps coming out to support the ice map. Now here's where I'm with you. I'm totally with you that the ice map is my current favourite by an absolute mile. That will do, buddy, that will do. Calm yourself down. The ice map is definitely my preference, definitely my favourite. So I'm looking forward to anything that opens the game up a little bit more. But I wouldn't be surprised if 60, 70, 80% of the game is always, let's say, within narrow spaces. I think the sense of enclosure is maybe something that they're just specifically going for. It's not to say players will necessarily love it. I prefer the wide open space and sense of exploration. However, who knows what we'll be presented with in the future. There is also the Warzone feature to look forward to. I have absolutely no idea what it is though. All I'm saying is they're referring to it as a Warzone or Battleground, and right now we can only speculate. We know it's probably going to include the endless missions and a few of the other bits and bobs, etc., that we know that might be featured in endgame content. We know it's going to feature a unique boss for there as well, aka a Nemesis. I'm certain that's going to be a Demon Prince, but that may be a large, open, vast area to actually sort of physically explore. It might not, but it would be very interesting to see. Who is Carly? That's a good question. Oh, thank you very much. Absolutely, feel free to join the old Discord. Anyone watching this in the future as well, the link will still be active down there in the description, and you will be more than welcome to join us, chat about the game. Honestly, you couldn't find a nicer bunch of people. Yes, I do use it to let you know when I'm going live, etc. I'm not going to be, I don't know, forcing t-shirts down your throat to buy, although t-shirts will be coming soon, maybe. Still looking at... I had a really good design a while ago, and I loved it for a week, and it's just left me, but there you go. Oh my god. I'm excited. We're about a month away from launch. It's a pretty good week. We're still waiting for the developer video this week. Morzan, if you're watching, what's going on? So the first developer video was, we were hoping to get it Tuesday, so hopefully tomorrow. As far as I'm aware, it was still having some revisions done today. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers as to which developer in particular it's following, but it's basically going to be a little bit of an analysis as to what they do with their day, how... not as in like a sort of vloggy, here I am eating cereal, and here I am sharing cat pictures, more about how they actually do their work relating to Martyr. Let's try using the cover system. Pow, pow, pow. Okay, let's overheat then. And let's try turrets. Let's try turrets and see if they make things a little bit less painful. Why does the ogre... Like, he's got a tongue, surely. Doesn't know how to use it, but he's got one. Right, there we go. Are we done? I think we're... No, we're not. Oh my god, this... I've just realised this is a purge mission. Good lord. The gaming graphics quality is going up slowly. It's still not got a very good anti-aliasing. I have seen it when it works. And that's one of the reasons it sort of... the textures are being improved upon. And the graphical... The graphical textures are being changed before the final release for all of the assets. So if you take something like... Oh god, I need some water. Throat's getting dry. If you take these barrels, they're having a reskin. You take these boxes, they're having a reskin. All of these little assets, the bits and bobs, are all having their textures updated before release. I expect the anti-aliasing will have a little bit of a tweak too, or in some cases just simply be turned on. And we can basically look forward to it looking a little bit prettier, even better hopefully. And the reports are as well that we're going to have 5 to 6 different subtypes for each biome, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the actual variants are. I think it'll just be a spaceship of one nature, and then a dark spaceship with the lights turned off, maybe then a Nurgle spaceship, maybe a spaceship with loads of barrels and boxes, like a cargo style, who knows. But that's my expectation. Oh, let's go up this way. No, down, up, this way. I'm trying to figure out the most efficient route. So we've got some... Kind of sad they couldn't make the persistent world where you don't have to break your gameplay in every 10 minutes with loot boxes. Well, I think if you read Persistent World, my friends, then you've misread what their intention was. Their intention was never for a free roaming game. They have given some people that impression, granted, but from the start they have always advertised that this was going to be an instance-based, mission-based game. Unfortunately, because they use the word open world, it sort of confused people a little bit because of what a typical open world involves. Now again, I'm not going to go into the conversation of is this or is this not open world. If you want to talk about that, jump on the forums. It's been done to death. We can do it a little bit more. But the open world narrative has always been, and the persistent game has always been in relation to the content release. So the persistent nature of the world is that 4 to 6 weeks after release we get the end zone open up, and then 10 to 12 weeks after release we get the next season start and the level cap increases, and then it will be a case of, another 4 to 6 weeks after that the end zone for tier 2 will increase, and then another 4 to 6 weeks after that, etc, etc, the next season will be starting. That's the persistent world. But this game, I would say, never get your hopes up about this being free roaming, because that has never been a mechanic they have been even aiming for necessarily, although granted it is something that players have been expecting due to their advertising, and hey, that's just something that Neocore are going to have to live with, because they've gone for that advertising strategy, and it's too late to back down now. But that's what it is. Yeah, exactly, Dreamforger. Winky, they had a very different interpretation of what it means to be a sandbox and open world. Absolutely. But again, let's not go there. We've done videos on this. I've done about 60 pages of forum discussion about this as well. Most people would agree that this is not an open world game. However, I think most people would also agree the season system is certainly more persistent than an average game, and it's something I'm looking forward to doing, is having 3 characters that you all level up. I mean, think about it like this. You've got 4 to 6 weeks, assuming you're one of these people that likes to level up all the characters, 4 to 6 weeks to play the game before the end game opens up, and that end game is a gearing process to get you ready for the next season that will be another 6 weeks later. So you've basically got not a lot of time to level up and progress to get yourself ready. Oh good lord, I really need some water. Sorry guys, I'm struggling here. I've got sandpaper for a freaking voice box at the moment. I got some, a little bit of Coke. Oh, that's better. Oh, gorgeous. Diet Coke. Oh, it's been there since this morning. It's flat. Flat Coke is not my bag. That's their thing. That's their thing. It is exciting to me, at least, because I get to try and level 3 characters. I get to try and gear them with relics within 4 to 6 weeks. Not a lot of time. Not a lot of time to do that. And then I get to try and upgrade all of their gear during the endgame process for another 4 to 6 weeks before the leveling process then continues. And I'm actually really curious how they're going to balance this, and if there's even going to be a catch-up mechanic for people that just literally fall behind. Or are they actually going to be like, you know what, if someone joins this in a year's time and someone has months of content to trawl through, will they be like, yeah, that's totally cool, that's what we want? Who knows? But at least to me, it's a very different idea. Like I've previously referred to this as an MMO model. Basically, when they give you an expansion or a season, the game progresses one step further, which is really cool as a concept. But an MMO does that once every 6 months. These guys are doing it quarterly, so you're going to have it quite goddamn often. And yeah, in that sense, it's certainly more persistent than a game that simply gives you 6 or 7 new items every now and again and says make a new character and have a little race. It's certainly very different. Yo, J-Law, how you doing? Flat Coke Zero for the win. It's Diet Coke, my friend, not Coke Zero. I would like to tell you what the difference is, but honestly, I've looked at the ingredients and they look identical to me. If there is a difference in taste between Diet Coke and Coke Zero, perhaps someone can fill me in. As far as I'm aware, they're both aspartame based. Going into Coca-Cola Theorycraft now. As far as I'm aware, they're basically the same thing. They both just use a sweetener instead of sugar. But there you go. Heretic. I'll try some Coke Zero again and see how they compare. It's good. It's been a good 6 months. My taste buds may have matured. Who knows? Who knows? Come on. Come on, hit it! Help if I clicked on it, let's be fair. Come on. You dare dodge me. Kill the Imperial scum. I would like to respond to some of these. Now, see here, good sir. That is not how you refer to me. I am a respectable, upstanding Inquisitor. I'd quite like some taunts from my character, to be honest. Press the T button and taunt. Forget the tactical view. I love the tactical view, but forget it. Give me taunts. Or emotes that I can do within mission to mock enemies. You know, I want to be sat there with a dreadnought, and I want to put my finger to my throat and slice it across. And, you know, I want to be like, your days are numbered with some sort... even, heck, a squatting dance. I don't know. Something inquisitorial. Could be good. Nightbot, thank you for joining in. Nice to see it's actually set up and working. Martin, nice to see you. Are dancer moves were seen on dev stream in the game yet? No. As far as I'm aware... Well, there are emotes coming, but we don't know what they are, which is very interesting. There are emotes confirmed. Let's go for luring out feral beasts. That sounds interesting. Now, I believe this is the generic build that applies to all weapons equally that I've gone for. Critical suppression hit point. Yes, so I can change to any weapon I like without any issue. What have we got? We've got auto pistol. We could go with auto pistols for a bit, I guess. I do like the auto gun, though. I don't want to mix my pistols. Don't mix your pistols. It's not good. It's not clever. Let's go auto gun, because that's a very impressive weapon, isn't it? An auto gun. Inquisitor, what weapon would you like to arm yourself with? Oh, I'll go for the pellet shooter, please. The rapid fire pellet shooter. I'm not interested in a rapid fire semi-explosive missile firing bolt gun. No. I'll go for something a little bit more timid and stick with a tiny rubber bullet shooting auto gun. Chainsword. I've got a relic one here, by the way. Hope you're impressed. I've been working hard. Let's go with a greatsword. Screw it. Greatsword plea? Greatsword plea. Let's try this one then. Greatsword plea. There we go. Wow. That's a big sword. That'll do. Right. Let's equip some... Have we got any better looking armour? Nope. Pink. Let's go pink. I know it triggers a few people. Where has it gone? Oh, where's it gone? I hate it when it jumbles stuff around like this. There we go. Good lord, that's disgusting. Right, let's go. Oh, my God. Don't be a salmon, guys. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. Hope you guys are old enough to have watched that commercial. Right. Ooh, deleted message, Vaz. You've been timed out. Good lord, get wrecked, my friend. Nightbot is on point. I'm pretty sure he said something absolutely fine. Vaz is a regular here. Try again, Vaz. I think it may be banning links, unless you're a mod. So there you go. Ah, right, okay, we're discussing aspartamine up there. Fair enough. I've checked the WHO stuff on aspartamine. True story. This may not be interesting to many people, but I've got particularly health-conscious parents, mother in particular, so I was presented with an article on aspartamine that just so happened, after I sourced it correctly, to be written by a junior pharmacist. And I'm sorry, but that was ridiculous. So I took that article and I basically shat on it. I wiped my arse with it, because what a joke. That's like me writing an article on it. I'm qualified in health to a degree, but not to a point where I can qualify on the physiological effects of aspartamine on someone. But there you go. There you go. Don't believe everything you see specifically in the Daily Mail. Good lord. Right, let's get some top-ups. Oh, I've got an Imperi Guard following me. What's up, my friend? Welcome. Oh, Vaz, yeah, I know it. I knew not to trust the Daily Mail since... Oh, what's going on here? Oh, F. I got an execute, guys. The first time. The first time I've ever had an execute in my life. Honestly, I did about 3 missions the other day trying to get an execute, and I never got one. So this is a big moment for me. Get out of it and get a proper nameplate, please. They are dying pretty quick, but I would like to state that I am a little bit over-leveled for this. Oh, F. It worked! It worked! Jiminy Crickets! It was pretty rubbish, but it worked. I'm gonna be honest, I'm sorry, but that was... I mean, it was kind of cool, a little bit of like a Matrix-y moment, but... Stop talking, seriously. If you do that one more time... Okay, let's try again. Okay. Every day's a school day, Jay. Yep, you do have to have points invested into the execution tree. And it can't happen in co-op as well, obviously, because it kind of slows time around you. But it does work, it seems. Doesn't work for me very often. I did... Look, this is... Yeah, it's got to be that some weapons it's not working for. Because I did about 3 missions and I never saw it. And yet now, I'm actually seeing it. Very interesting.
Target deletion complete.
Yes, target deleted. Confirmed. Right. I would like to execute one of these, though. Can't like to execute you, good sir. I'd also like some bigger connection sounds. Some whacks. Ooh, someone's left their gun up here. Right, I'm guessing it's an Ogren gun. There you go. Oh, so how are we all doing today, guys? We doing good? We fairly excited with the console stuff? What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the latest little preview? I know it's nothing major to get our hopes up about, because right now we only just saw basically the game sped up a little bit. Other than that, there were no real changes. All of the stuff we're super curious about is still a mystery. And I'm slightly relieved that that footage was not of a completed product, because on the mission screens, for example, there were no new missions. Get out of it. Right, let's see if I can execute you. Please? Please? Nope.
Target neutralized.
Oh, at least you got the right tag now. Right, get out of it. What do you guys think? Burn the console heretics. Well, my friend, that is certainly a point of view. That is certainly a point of view. Let's bring up the other chat log here. I don't even know. Can I get one of the mods to find out if this is working in Twitch at the moment or not? Because I have a feeling... I'm not live on Twitch. I could be, though. I might not be. Harmon, my friend, you got to start calling it night. You're trying to catch me out again. You know it's a night by now. And it was confusing for us both for a while, having found a Warlord Titan that looks exactly the same as a Knight, just with a tiny extra weapon on its shoulder. But you've got to remember, this is 40k, and if you get a word wrong, you are going to die and burn. It's pretty much... There's a Peter Kay sketch when he talks about a face someone pulls as if he walked in her house at Christmas and pissed on her kids. And that is the face that people pull. Ooh, a random rebel champion. That is the face that 40k fans pull when you get a word wrong. They pull a face as if you came in their house, oh my god, this has gone downhill quickly, and pissed on their kids. Hydra Sleepy, confirmed. Hydra Sleepy emote, perhaps confirmed. I am streaming on Twitch, thank you very much for the clarification, my friend. Right. Thank you very much for the clarification. Well, that could also happen, let's be honest. I'm not surprised that the Nightbot had some beef with you there. 5-second timeout. That's right, you can't repeat what I say in the chat. Nightbot will wreck you. Can't do that. Oh my word. It's a good job Nightbot doesn't actually moderate me, to be fair, isn't it? Right, good job. Good job, Hydra. Heading over to the 45-minute mark. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're going to roll it up to a very even, thank you for the follow, my friend. We're going to rock it up to a very even hour. So it's going to be a fairly short and sweet stream today, but I want to keep it cram-packed full of juicy info. Even though I've kind of run out already. But we can still rant and waffle about stuff, of course. Hopeful for a stream on Friday, although, guys, it is not confirmed. It is not confirmed in the slightest, but I am hopeful for one, seeing as it was maybe going to be last Friday, or this Friday. That's kind of what they said. So that would seem to imply, as it wasn't last Friday, that it probably will be this Friday. We'll have to wait and see, but fingers crossed, because we are really due a stream. And in terms of the streams that we've got due, I've got to change this armour. I am sorry, but I'm not putting up with another pink one. Like 50% of Inquisitor's pink. Right. That looks kind of cool, I guess. We'll go for... Yeah, that looks all right. Let's roll. Let's roll with it. Oh, I don't want to go there. Let's roll. I've lost what I was saying now. Good lord, I'm a mess. Good lord, right. Let's buy 3 Imperial Guardsmen to come help. Why not? Oh, ice map as well. Lovely jubbly. Yeah, there won't be any chat from there in here, Harmon, because I am using Restream, and I'm not putting the chat on the actual thing now. But there you go. Thank you very much for all of the... Well, Mersh, thank you very much for the $5. More love to Twitch. Thank you very much, my friend. More love to Twitch indeed. And I do have the Twitch chat here alongside the YouTube chat. It's a much smaller font, though, which I really need to sort out and address. Let's just expand this a little bit, because I know I've been leaving you guys out a little bit and not responding as promptly. So, who have we got over there? We've got... Ishan Yu, nice to see you, my friend. Who have we got? We've got Doc Dewey over there. We've got Malamba wandering in. We've got... Oh, mostly you guys spamming. Well, that's always nice. That's always nice. The regulars moving over to Twitch. Don't have the emotes if you're not a sub, though. The trouble is I can't do the sub thing for Twitch, because then you can't simultaneously stream to YouTube, and most people know me in YouTube, so... I'm in a bit of a tough spot at the moment in regards to that. I basically don't think I can ever be partnered with... liking the look of this gun. I don't think I will be able to commit to the partner scheme of Twitch. And if you want emotes, YouTube will be the only place to get them, because when you partner with YouTube, you don't do an exclusivity sort of thing. There you go. So in regards to customization, apart from dirt and scratches and colours, will there be anything else like being able to... No. I would imagine that won't be the case. Thank you very much for the follow, Kaiser. Nice to have you on board. There will be more skins added with time, but as far as customizing your character by little bits, I wouldn't be surprised if it's something that comes in the future, but I know it's not something that they've done yet. I think it's just one of those things where the amount of hours you have to put in to make and design and make all of them look good is just when you're already behind schedule on something, it's probably just not been realistic for them to do. But some form of... Well, put it this way, you've got about 3 different variants of each skin. So there is, in some respects, you can just change skin to the variant that has the bells and whistles that you like. So kind of a little bit maybe. You could call that customization by swapping skin. It's really a transmog feature, but there you go. Let's go smush some dudes. Not again. Stop it. Stop it. Right. No new classes are planned. I would expect a new class to come at roughly, I would say, about a year's time. Yes, I do mean a year's time. Basically, it took them ages to make the Psyker. It took them ages to get it ready. They were behind schedule with it. It was months and months. And to do that in the background, I believe that will come in some of the paid expansions. I do not think we'll be seeing it prior to that, though. That's my expectation. I could be wrong, but they're doing some larger expansions, and I think that's the ideal time to introduce a new class. It's going to be tricky, though, because you introduce a new class after a year, and everyone's basically going to be level 500, or whatever the level may be. Probably be closer to 200, actually, realistically. So, let's just mull over that for now. But there's going to be 3 major expansions, so you're probably looking at 3 new classes that will be added. I would expect that to be the case. Maybe there will be more, but the amount of work that goes into it, I would be very surprised. Ooh. F. It works this time. No sound effects for it, but looks kind of cool, I guess. Thank you very much for the $1. Guild exclusive stuff. Yeah, that's a nice one, my friend. That is a nice one. I do need some patron ideas, so thank you for chipping in there. The current patrons have been a little bit quiet in terms of their demands, which is nice for me because it takes away a little bit of responsibility, but I do need to give them some shiny things. I do indeed. I don't want to take you alive. That's the whole point. Right, let's bring up the plan over here. Yeah, I do agree that the chat is very convenient in Twitch. I myself, I like YouTube just because it's easy to find me on YouTube, but Twitch has evolved. Twitch has evolved over a very long time to be what it is. Oh, that's a new console. So it is good at what it does. YouTube is very fresh and new to this, but I mean, I'm honestly thinking you give it a year, maybe another year or 2. I think YouTube will be catching up. I do think it will be taking probably some esports events. I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube starts marketing into that with the YouTube gaming side. I see it happening. I mean, YouTube's just so big. So big. Ridiculously big. Yeah, following on Twitch does make it a little bit easier to find. YouTube's a little bit more intermittent. It does tell you when someone's live, but not in the same way as Twitch. I think the advantage of Twitch is people log into it because they want to watch something. You don't necessarily have that guarantee with... Well, they want to watch something live. With YouTube, you don't necessarily have that sort of same guarantee, and YouTube is just so varied. People might have come on just because they want to research how to fix their car. But I don't know. Let's not go into the platform discussion today. We've got purging to do. So, all in all, a fairly quiet week. However, the console footage, I would say, I'm at least relieved that the pace has picked up. I think in conclusion for this week, it's probably... This is taking a while, isn't it? Have I got anything piercing here? No. In a word, no. Well, he's not repairing, at least. That's something. Right, that's it. Get pwned. There you go. Always take something that actually damages armour. Right, how much have we got left? Quite a lot. Oh my god, this is a purge mission. Why did I do a purge mission? Oh, it's an investigation, isn't it? It's actually an investigation. Oh, whoever came up with the idea of purge missions, honestly. Definitely my least favourite. I tell you, that if there's one thing that I would really like to see in the upcoming streams, perhaps you guys can chip in a little bit too. Upcoming streams, what are you interested in? What do you want to see? What's high up on your list? And we know there's going to be a stream dedicated to endgame builds. That is really something I'm curious about, because I want to see what the new item enchants are. I am incredibly curious how they're going to improve the gameplay via basically making relic items like legendary items. I really want to see what they're going for, if they're actually going to add some complexity to builds by doing that. That could be absolutely awesome. Let's turn on a bit of night vision for a second just to soothe the eyes. There's also one on making maps and showing how maps are put together, and I've suggested to them, and I really hope they also make use of demonstrating a new map type and some new assets to do it. Because if they show us how they made one of the pre-existing maps, let's face it, no one's going to be that excited. Although I probably would. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. What other stuff would you like to see? Yo, thank you for the buck, my friend. Right. Yeah, it is easier to spam on Twitch, that's for sure. That's for sure. Twitch has its thing going on, definitely. I do like it. I'm gonna keep streaming to both, even though it is a bit of a bugger to try and read both chats at the same time. But it has its thing going on. Let's burn this guy to death slowly. Ah, here we go. It's a slow old battle, cooking Bullgrins. They always taste best when they're slow roasted. Okay. Oh, the back pedal, we haven't seen how that's been reworked as well, so that's also something I'd like to see. We know that more maneuverability has been added to some of the weapons, but we don't know how. All we know is that it's something that they were looking to do, and that's kind of all we know, that they just wanted to make the characters a little more mobile by adding more abilities to move and shoot, but abilities to move and shoot, not the ability to always move and shoot. So it will be weapon specific, it will mainly be tied to the assassin. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I mean, we're not on Astartes at the end of the day. Standing still to fire a bolt gun, I'm okay with that. I can live with it. For some people, they'd like a twin-stick genre, but I always expected this to be a top-down, sort of isometric click-to-move ARPG, so I'm not upset that it's not an arcade style. Nothing. Not that there's anything wrong. Been playing a bit of Helldivers, very, very much enjoying it. Right, let's cook this. Yeah, that is certainly true, streaming a variety of games. And on that note, guys, I don't know what you're going to think about this. I do not know. Oh, don't judge me, but I may. And I have never played this game before. I may be doing some streams of another game over the next few weeks, as I've been asked by the new community manager for a game, a 40k game, to do some footage of it, and I've never played it before. It's been out for ages. It's not currently doing too well in terms of player numbers. You can probably guess what it is. It is Eternal Crusade, and I know it's going to stir up some real emotions, but I have never played it, so I figure at the very least what I might do is just a totally unbiased gameplay session where I just play the game, never played it before, I don't know how it works, and see what happens. Judging. Thank you very much, Dewey. Thank you for the donations, guys. It's all very much appreciated. Dutch Waifu, I'm sorry if you sent a message. I did not see it. You'll have to... Dutch Waifu, what was your recent D message? My apologies, I'm so very bad. Maybe I have a little chat log here. Steam labels. Stream labels. Stream labels. Let's bring that up. That way I can actually keep a track of this stuff a little bit better. Although it doesn't tell me what the message was. Bah. I'm just a terrible, terrible streamer, basically. Confused. There you go. Oh, recent D wasn't updating. That's why. That's why it was from yesterday. Oh, I'm a mess. Might be doing a little bit more Outlast 2 as well. I do want to finish that series. Yeah, it's not been updating, dude. That's my mistake. Restream labels wasn't working in the background. Minus 14 glory? Ooh, plus 15 glory. There you go. So don't fail it, basically. Guys, that is going to be the end of the stream there. We'll do a little wrap-up Q&A, FAQ, if you guys have got some questions about the forthcoming game. So fire away. I'm going to give you guys a minute just to ask me any questions you've got. Just fire them at me. Let me know anything you're worried about, any questions you've got about the final release. Obviously, I don't know everything. Gregory, what's up, my friend? Long-time watcher, first-time commenter. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy the stream, my friend. If you'd like to come and hang out, guys, for those of you still watching, the Ordo Hydra Discord is now open to the public. And you guys are Imperial citizens and more than welcome. So head on down, and Dewey, if you can post the link one more time, that would be great, my friend. Head on down to the description and you'll find the Discord link down there. Feel free to jump on in, come say hey, hang out with us. We've got a group of 20 to 30 old gits that have been here since the beginning of the founding. So we know most of the things there are to know about the game. And now we're getting, hopefully, lots and lots of fresh people in. So if you want to find groups, people to play with, people to ask advice from, this is the place to be. Of course, the official Discord is nice too. It is nice too. But it is the place to be. So, guys, it's been magical. It's been wonderful. And if there's no further questions, we will probably call it there. Last sweep of the chat. Some potential serious issues with EC. Well, I'll keep that in mind, my friend. Jeff, aside from what they are currently doing with the console version, are they skipping a beta stage? Yes, they are, my friend. Yes, they're going from alpha to final release. There was a planned beta stage, although let me just state that the planned beta stage was what we have currently, plus crafting, plus a retinue system, it's not making it in yet, plus a couple of other systems. It was never the full, it was never a slice of a full game. It was always intended to be, it was always intended to be a slice of a full game. So there is no beta. So there you go. What they're doing to test it, and I'll give you guys a little bit of reassurance now, because I've been involved in the testing process of putting patches live for this for quite some time. There's been a few players that have helped flush out the really bad bugs and basically get patches ready to be played. So, yet the in-game menu says alpha because it is Filipino. Absolutely. It is 100% currently an alpha build. What we're playing on the moment is a build that has not had a lot of attention over the past 6 months. It's had some revamps and changes, but the majority of what the developers have been doing has been going into their own internal version of the game, which is aka sort of the final product. Now, some people are worried about it being as buggy as the patches come final release. I do expect bugs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Neocore is going to make a flawless release. I don't expect flawless releases from anyone. That's not an excuse every company should strive to. However, those patches were often released previously with bugs that we knew were there. I know because I was writing reports saying that there is a bug for this, there is a bug for that, and quite often they went live with patches simply because it wasn't worth delaying it 2 to 3 weeks for everyone for the sake of a couple of, like, an intermittent crash. It was better to get people playing it, giving feedback. That was their thought process anyway. So they pushed stuff live, and then, unfortunately, their fixing process often meant that they were then hot fixing the next version of the game rather than slowly building on the build they currently had. So basically, you didn't see a lot of patches, and then everything was all done at once. But that process has been junked a little bit for the final, because for the past, I think, 4 months, they've had a QA team doing all of this. So they basically hired a new QA team that sit there and play the game in a professional manner and do QA work all day, which isn't actually just sitting there playing the game. It is qualifications are needed quite often for high-level QA work. Thunderbird, I'm sure, can attest to a degree of skill being required for it, at least, as well as technical proficiency. So they are getting an internal team to basically do the bug testing beta phase, but we're certainly not being able to give feedback on the entirety of the game. We're giving feedback on the core features we've got access to currently. Development milestones usually work like that. I can only comment on what I've taken part in, and a lot of early access games slowly build on their version until it's complete. However, from what I'm aware of Martyr, they're a bit behind schedule and they needed to save time to get themselves to a point where they could release. They have been making this game for some time. It was delayed by over 6 months already. So my thought process is that probably they just came to a point where, guys, we've got to get this thing live, because, you know, they can't just work on it indefinitely. They've got to start really selling it at some point. So I know they're all cramming it at the moment. I'm sure that I will probably be seeing some bugs come launch day. I just hope it's not too many and they're not too big. We all know that Van Helsing was plagued a little bit by bugs. Still is, because largely they were never fixed because they moved over onto Martyr. So that's something that a lot of people that are previous Neocore fans are concerned about. But we shall just have to wait and see. The truth is, none of us know. We don't know how many bugs have been fixed. Obviously, Neocore are going to be working their socks off to do what they can, but will it be enough? Who bloody knows? All we can say is wait until launch day and see what happens. So, guys, hope you've enjoyed the stream. I hope you have found it useful. Again, feel free to jump on down in the Discord below. Come and say hey, hang out, and just be awesome with us, because it's a cool community. I'm pretty proud of it. Tap on the chest there, that noise was. I'm pretty proud of it. They're a really good bunch. Guys, you look after yourselves. I will see you soon. Take care and all the best.